Okay, one of the requirements to be in this program was to get enough protein. Now on your InBody test at the top, you had total body weight. Right to the left of that, you have lean body mass. And what we want to look at is getting that lean body mass number minimum. That's the minimum grams of protein that we need to be consuming each and every day. If you go a little above, there's nothing wrong with that, but stay in between minimum number lean body mass, maximum number total body weight. So we want to get 1 gram per pound of lean body mass minimum, maximum total body weight. So if we do that, we'll be much more effective at maintaining muscle, at building muscle if we're doing the strength training exercises, and we will also be able to utilize our peptides more effectively because the body will have plenty of proteins to do the other things that it needs. So those short amino acid chain peptides can go to send the signals that they're supposed to send. And so I want to talk about the content and the amount of protein in some different things so I can help you. We don't want to weigh, count, and measure, but I want you to have a general idea of how many grams of protein you're getting in a day. So a scoop of the OptiU whey protein, which you're all obligated being in this program to drink at least 1 scoop a day, 1 scoopful a day. I showed you the video, sent you the video, hope you watched it, where I do 2 scoops and I do a scoop of collagen. That gives me 41 grams of protein. I forgot in the video that I typically will put a pastured raw egg in there, which is another 7. So that's 48 grams. We'll round that up and say it's 50. Then 6 ounces of ground beef is about 30 or 31 grams. 6-ounce filet is 31 grams. A 6-ounce ribeye is about 40 grams. A 6-ounce piece of salmon is about 34 or 35 grams. And a 6-ounce piece of chicken is about 42 grams of protein. So that should give you some general idea of how many grams of protein you get in a day. So for me, I'm 155 pounds. I need to get at least 125, 130 pounds. I have 125, 130 pounds of lean muscle mass. And then I need to get, between 130 and 155. So I do that protein shake sometime typically between 12 and 2 o'clock. That's when I take my 5-amino-1-MQ. If it's my time to be on my 5-amino-1-MQ, I don't stay on it long term, and we will recommend the same for you. But that's my first shake or food of the day. When I have that, I know that I've got really close to 50 grams of protein. And then later on, maybe another hour or 2, I may eat a leftover hamburger patty from the evening before, leftover steak. We would make enough to have that for lunch the next day. So I would usually eat an 8-ounce hamburger patty, which would be closer to 40 grams. So now I'm at 90. Okay, so I have my 50 and my 40, so I'm at 90. And in that evening, I'll eat maybe, we'll call it an 8-ounce filet, and I'll get another 40 or 45. So I'm at 135. So, I'm right there at my 130 to 155 range. So that's how I do it. And we want to make sure that you're getting that minimum amount of grams of protein a day based off your lean body number from your InBody test. Now, what do we want to eat? That was a question that has come up a couple times, so I thought during this protein section, this would be a good time to talk about it. Mainly, I would tell you to think about meat and veggies. And when I say veggies, I don't mean potatoes, French fries, corn. Those are starches. Those are not veggies. Now, I'm going to give you an exception. A sweet potato is more a veggie starch kind of thing. There's an in-between. But what I'm going to recommend, and I don't want you to take this and go crazy with it, but I am going to recommend, especially if you are doing any of the walking, and especially even further if you're adding any strength training, that with your evening meal, your supper, that you would have a little bit of quality carbohydrates. So, I mean, outside of broccoli, Brussels sprouts, zucchini, squash, onions, but you would add a little more of what I'll call a starchy kind of carb. And I'm going to tell you the two preferred ones. Now, this would not be a big serving, but it would be a serving of carbs because it can actually trigger your body to burn more fat. Now, this is if you're doing some activity. If you're not, please don't do this. If you know you have insulin resistance, please don't do this, or don't do it in the first couple weeks at least, until your body has time to start to fix some of those problems by following the plan. So, the top two more starchy things that we would talk about you eating at night are sweet potatoes. So we'll often have, Beth will peel and cut sweet potatoes into cubes, and we'll have sweet potato cubes. Occasionally we'll have just a sweet potato baked like a potato would be. But typically we do it as cubes. And so you can certainly do some of that, but we don't do a bunch of that. We do a serving each of that, and that's about it. The second favorite starchy or carbohydrate that we would talk about is white rice. Now, we use organic white rice, but white rice. I would tell you to avoid the brown rice and the whole grain rice and the multigrain rice and use white rice. And an even better trick is if you cook the white rice early, you put it in the fridge and let it get cold, and then you reheat it. When you do that, you make it a resistant starch, and so it doesn't cause the big sugar spike, but you still get the benefits of those carbohydrates to help you get through the night, help you burn more fat, and help replenish your muscle glycogen, the sugar that's stored in your muscles, if you work out. If you don't work out, it's probably not a good idea. Oh, and there's a third one that we will occasionally do also, and that is some gluten-free pastas. And I can't remember the company or companies that we get, but I've done all the research. I can't, it doesn't come to me right now, but I'll get that to you in a separate video, or may just send out a little message and say, hey, here's the gluten-free pastas brand that we talked about. So hopefully that gives you an idea. We want you to drink that gallon of Kangen water. We want to make sure you're taking your supplements. We want to make sure you're getting that minimum lean body mass of grams of protein a day. And we want to make sure that you're walking at least 30 to 60 minutes or doing some equivalent if you have some issues that keep you from walking. And I'm going to, again, really, 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 really strongly encourage you to do some of the strength training exercises. I'm going to really, really, really encourage you. No alcohol whatsoever. Destroys your sleep, shuts off fat burning for up to 7 days for a lot of folks in the research. It destroys your brain function. It's really something that you need to think about giving up right now, long term, if you will, because it's the best thing for your health, period, is to give up alcohol. Any smoking or cigarettes or vaping, any of that is obvious, I think. And remember, if you're taking the once weekly injection, it helps with those cravings for alcohol. It helps with those cravings for sugar. It helps with those cravings for things that we know we probably shouldn't be doing as much of as maybe we are. So hopefully that will give you some really good ideas of what you want to have on a daily basis as far as your protein, your water, your walking, your exercise, your strength training. And we talked about adding in some good quality, more starchy things in the evening, like the sweet potatoes, the white rice, cooled and heated even better, and cooled and reheated white rice is even better. And then we talked about the gluten-free pasta, which I'll get you the brands. I'll get the brands and see if Magic can add it to the video. Okay, I brought some props for us. So this is one of the pastas that we use. Hopefully you can see that. That's Palmini, angel hair, hearts of palm. That's a good one. This Jovial, gluten-free elbows. We like to have some of that. And then this, I think you say Nachi, I believe. This Delalo Nachi. Those are all three gluten-free, so they're going to be very safe for our guts. They're good forms of those more starchy carbs if we're doing our exercise that we can have in the evenings. Small servings. We really just typically cook these and put a little butter and salt on them. You can certainly find you some good kind of sauce or something, and Beth will sometimes do that. We will occasionally have spaghetti that she makes, the spaghetti sauce with the grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef. And then we will typically use zucchini for noodles, or we may do a serving of this, and then the rest would be with zucchini. We wouldn't do multiple servings of this if we were gonna do, spaghetti with these. We wouldn't do it all that way. But there's lots of options for you. So if you're doing that, adding some quality carbs in the evenings with your evening meal in small amounts can benefit your fat burning. It can benefit your recovery from exercise. It can help you sleep better, but you do want to do whatever meal 1 to 2 hours before your evening capsule if you're taking one, like the BPC or the KPV, and you would want to do it 1 to 2 hours before your ipamorelin if you're doing that shot at bedtime. And remember, ipamorelin is Monday through Friday, not on Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully that's helpful. Thanks. See you next time.